Hey, what you studying, Doc?
Oh, thigh bone connected to the knee bone, that kind of thing.
By George, I think you got it.
Yeah, just in time, too.
For what? What do you mean?
I'm gonna spend my day off from the hospital with the building inspector.
I can't do that?
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because he's inspecting the building over on Converse Street, all those apartments.
Yeah.
And when Frame Construction started the renovation.
I was putting up tomatoes instead of buildings.
That's right. I need all the permits.
They're still in the safe.
Okay.
Boy, things sure do change, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do.
So if you'd asked me a year ago, or told me that I'd be the head of a construction company, happy about it, I'd have asked you what you were drinking. Hey, did you find what you're looking for?
Huh?
Did you find what you're looking for?
Charlene, there's something strange here.
What?
Sharlene, can we talk for a minute? Hi, look, I just came from the boarding house. I heard Josie moved out.
Yeah, she did.
Look, if you can tell me where she's living now, I really have to talk to her. It's about Reuben.
Oh, I'm afraid she's left Bay City.
What?
Yeah, she went to New York without telling me.
When did she leave?
About 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Well, look, I was just talking to the lady who runs the boarding house.
Yeah.
Now, she said that Reuben moved out the same day that Josie did.
Has Josie gotten in touch with him?
I don't know. He and I... Well, I didn't expect you and me to be in the same boat.
What, you and me?
I haven't seen Reuben since then. I heard from him.
Oh.
Well, Reuben and I aren't that close.
Josie and I used to be.
Well, when I didn't hear from him, I just assumed it was business as usual. I mean, I didn't start to worry until I realized he wasn't going to his job. Look, he has to go to that job. It's one of the conditions of his parole.
But, all right, wait, I'm confused.
Well, Reuben and I had this big fight, you know, and I pretty much told him that he was no good and that he would never change. But I guess he did, didn't he?
She calls me, there's never a response.
He hasn't called me. He hasn't even tried to contact me.
Do you think maybe he hasn't... Reuben moved out of the boarding house the same day Josie did.
Well, maybe they're together.
You know, they might be.
Well, they were friends, weren't they, at the boarding house?
Yes, I think they were.
Yes, they are.
Look, all I can say is that I'll call you or let you know the next time Josie calls me. Boy, I wish I could tell you I knew when that was
I
gonna
just
be.
hope he's not out there all alone. You know, he hasn't had me.
You said he was on parole?
Yeah, and if he doesn't come back to Bay City, he could go to jail.
Ronnie, I know this sounds like I'm only thinking of myself, but if they are together, could this affect Josie?
Listen, Reuben wouldn't let anything happen to Josie.
Oh, I just hope Reuben has Josie. I mean, he hasn't had me. The thing that really bothers me is that Reuben is violating his parole.
Well, can you talk to his parole officer? Try to explain things?
What do I say to him?
Well, if you need somebody to put in a good word for him.
Oh, thanks, Charlene.
Oh, no, really, I rested easier because Reuben was in that boarding house.
Well,
he looked after Josie.
Your opinion of my brother was much higher than mine.
Reuben was on my team, really. He tried to get Josie to move back home. I don't know, it seemed like it meant something to him.
Maybe it did mean something to him.
If I hear anything, I'll call. Say bye. John, I thought you had to meet the building inspector.
I called him and put it off.
Why?
Because I wanted to talk to you.
What's wrong?
I found something in the safe that I just don't understand.
What, something about the apartment?
No, about Josie. She has 2 birth certificates here. One says her father is named Lenny Bolger. The other one says father unknown.
What? We're both in there?
Which one's right, Charlene?
I don't know why you were going through my personal papers.
I didn't mean to.
But Josie had the one. I didn't even know that the other ones.
Which one did you think Josie had?
Why that stupid spa needed a copy of her birth certificate in the first place. It was just a
Charlene,
job
I thought that we knew everything about each other.
Well, we don't, okay?
Don't you know that there's nothing that you can't tell me?
Lenny Bolger was a guy that I lived with. He was not Josie's father. Josie needed a copy of her birth certificate, so I had that one made up and I had his name put on it. So she wouldn't know the truth. Guy at the printer shop gave me a hard time about it. I had to pay him extra money.
About changing the name of the father.
Yes. But it was worth it, John, because if she had ever seen that...
Maybe she did.
No, she couldn't have.
Why not?
Because at the time, the original was at Cass's office. At least it was supposed to be.
You know, I remember having a conversation with Reuben where he kept apologizing for this mess surrounding a birth certificate.
Reuben?
I didn't understand it at the time.
I still don't. Wait a minute.
What?
Reuben worked at Cass's office, didn't he?
Right?
So, that's where all those papers were during the trial.
Including the birth certificates.
Yeah. Yes, at least I thought they were, and actually I was glad about it because Josie had figured out that her birth certificate was a copy, and she started asking all kinds of questions.
And maybe Josie talked to Reuben.
And he helped her out.
Maybe.
John, I know that young ladies of genteel birth don't usually have father unknown on their birth certificate, but it's not what you think. Oh, God.
What?
Oh, God, John. Josie must have seen that after I testified. She heard me say that I was a prostitute. John, she must think that she is the daughter of one of those men. Oh, now I know what she was talking about. All those things she said.
Charlene.
I am so stupid. Everything I do is stupid.
Charlene. Josie's father, he wasn't...
No, John. I had been away from that life for years when I got pregnant with Josie.
Then why did you lie?
What?
Why?
John, I told you, Lenny Bolger was a guy I lived with. I wanted Josie to think that he was...
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the other birth certificate, the one that says father unknown. Who was he, Charlene? Charlene, who was Josie's father?